Hello, Facebook friends and YouTube friends.
How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing well. Just
Hmm.
a nice day. I
Is
should
it
have been
though?
outside with it.
We haven't done this in a while, but we should have went outside, but then we're gonna hear cars going by,
It'd be
kids.
way too loud.
It'd be way too loud. They wouldn't hear nothing from us. But scale of 1 to 10, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Uh, am I turned down your phone?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, actually, I don't have my earphones in. Hold on.
That's why I can't hear myself.
Oh, sorry.
Check one. Check one.
Daddy, shut up.
We good. Yeah. It's 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
No, you said 1 out of 10. How am I doing? I'm like,
Okay.
I'm about to explain.
Okay.
1 out of 10. I get 8.25. You know, I got some tests coming up, so I'm upset about that.
Mm.
Uh, have you ever seen a teacher give out a midterm two? It's a midterm one and a midterm two. I didn't know that was a thing
Are
that
you
teachers did that.
serious?
So I got a midterm on Thursday that I got to do. So I got to lock in on that, but honestly, I'm not locked at all. So that's why I'm at a 2.5, 8.2.5.
Hey, mother. Hey, Dana. If you see comments on Instagram, Deanna, make sure you read them because I can't see.
Yeah, I see everything.
Okay. Well, you didn't ask me, but I'll answer.
Answer.
I feel like I'm a good 7. It has been real busy, like I don't know, trying to work and do school, but
Oh yeah, you
I
are
think
doing
I'm
school.
good. It's
Do you
the
even go? Do you ever go up there?
No, I should though. I need to. I told myself I would, but I just haven't had the time yet. But I'm going to. I'm gonna go to
Yeah, make
campus one
yourself
day.
a student again. So you're in graduate school.
Yes.
Wow. You gonna get the PhD too. Might as well just go for
No,
the trifecta.
no. This is it.
You might as well go for all three.
No, this is it. I'm not doing nothing else.
So you get to walk across the stage twice, like again.
Yeah, well, I never walked across the stage at Chapel Hill because they didn't have. In December when I graduated, they don't let people walk across the stage. You only can walk across in the spring. So I never like physically walked. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I was like half asleep, but I was awake. Anyways.
Love that. Love that for me.
I'm saying you get to walk again.
Yeah.
Or like you will get to walk.
Yeah.
Wow. That's sweet.
But yeah. But anyway.
I'm just telling you. But I say we jump right into it then.
We should. Let's start with a pop quiz. Oh, but you know what? It'll be a little hard because I think I put it in the description of this episode. But
what you talking about?
I was gonna give a like trivia question.
Oh, to who them?
Yeah. So
still do it.
Okay. If you haven't looked at the description of the episode yet, don't cheat. But what is the federal minimum wage amount? Like how much do people get paid per hour? If you had to guess.
See some answers.
The minimum, like, federal minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Don't use Google. Don't click off the live.
I know. If you do, shameful, but.
Shame on you. Let's just say it's low. Give them a little help.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine said $8.25.
Okay.
Brandon says $7.50.
Okay.
Stephanie says $15.50.
Okay. Yeah. Get some some throws out there in the ballpark. Okay.
Man. Well. It is.
Jacob said $11.50.
Okay. Jacob says $11.50. Anjana says $11. It is $7.25.
Indeed.
Okay?
Indeed.
$7.25 is the federal minimum. Like now, states, of course, in Washington D.C., we have higher minimum wage because
cost of living.
The cost of living, which still is an argument in itself if you're saving more money with our minimum wage, but that's the minimum. So people in Alabama, I think Alabama has the lowest. I think they're the one who like has the standard limit, but like $7.25, that I never made that less of money like ever in my life.
Never. That's borderline corruption.
Yeah, I just feel like we wanted to really kind of talk on this episode about the struggles of like the everyday American, because I feel like people kind of you be on social media and you think that life is more
like
kosher or like comfy. Yeah, but a lot of people are struggling, myself included, maybe not financially, but just like trying to fight the battles of trying to survive in this country,
Yes.
And But maybe I'll say that for later. But what are your thoughts on like minimum wage and?
Yeah, that's honestly dirt cheap. Like
Yeah.
no one can survive off $7.25. I understand, the values of cost of living compared to the minimum wage. And people have been fighting for minimum wage increase forever, especially for jobs that, cater to that usually impact the community, usually build up the people around you. That's the people that get paid the least.
Yeah.
So since I was younger, I know people have been fighting to get paid more. And even my teachers in school used to complain how much they get paid. Like subliminally though, they'd be like, they barely making all this and they gotta pay for our supplies, they gotta they pay for the school don't give them everything, so they gotta put some money in for themselves. It's just it's a lot that goes into it. But for me personally, my experiences getting paid with minimum wage. See, I'm in DC, right? So we get paid good money, and the job I had, we got paid pretty good money. So I was getting by, but you know what it is for me, Deja? Even though we're getting paid good money, the people that are getting paid minimum wage, the jobs that those are brutal. Physically, mentally,
brutal. And mind you, a lot of people who are minimum wage have families or are like, living on their own. So at least with you were able to pretty much pocket the money you made. But and a lot of times with those jobs, you don't have benefits, you don't have like healthcare or any of that stuff. So it's like, why do you think the minimum wage is so low?
Honestly,
do you think it's like a conspiracy? Like, oh, they don't want people to like, financially prosper.
Yeah. So, when I was actually reading up on some articles before the podcast that came around, and what I generally learned, this is from like a business standpoint, right? Not from everyday American standpoint. So basically believing like to increase the minimum wage would then increase the cost of living and increase inflation. So inflation would rise due to wages being risen because it's like supply and demand. The more money you make, this more the project is going to cost. That's just how it works.
But why they can't control it? Like, why do they continue to keep raising the cost of living? That's not required.
Right. Well, the problem I was reading on is if you don't raise the cost of living, but you raise the wages, then the companies will lose money.
That's right. Yes.
The market will become less competitive, which they will never allow. So in conclusion, I guess you could say is what I learned is everything's a cycle. Everything just goes back to the same point. There's no succeeding in the wage war. Like I really understood that as I was reading these articles. These people have fought for decades, and yes, wages have gone up, but the inflation has doubled.
Yeah.
So it's no real win because at the end of the day, the higher companies, the competitive market will always come on top. And that's what I had saw and I read and learned before we had, brought up the podcast, which I didn't understand prior.
Yeah. I remember at Ben & Jerry's, like every year when our minimum wage went up, they increased the prices at the ice cream. Like it's the same product.
Right.
But you what's it called? You charge more. Like that's so crazy. Even I was at Chipotle and they charged me for my tortilla. I'm like, yo, 50 cents for some bread. Yeah, that really killed me.
And I honestly thought majority of the minimum wage, like employees were younger, but only 10% of employees that are underage. It's only 10%. 16 and 19 is that's it. It's 10% of the entire workforce that make that works minimum wage job is 10%. You think, when you grow up, a kid just gets a job just to work it for the summer, blah, blah, blah. But 35 and up and older make up almost half of the minimum wage workforce.
That's terrible. Those are the people who need.
Right. Is that no? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying exactly. You would think that it would be the younger kids, but it's the people that have families, that have lives, that have bills to pay, that have things to cover, people to look after, are the ones being paid the least. And
that's crazy.
And then it jumps back to a podcast we had done is, do you have to go to college to be successful? And many of these people that are older, 35 and up, don't have degrees. That's another thing, is that idea of what we were talking about previous podcasts. Do you need a degree to succeed? And it's looking like yes, honestly.
Right. But another thing, and I'm not trying to like say that this is not a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people in my position, when you come straight out of college, and I know you have to work your way up, but they are still paying chump change. Like you will literally have a whole degree and you'll come out of college and they want to have, like, they only want to give you an internship, or you getting paid between $25,000 and $30,000. Like, which I'm not saying is anything wrong. But I'm saying if a college degree is supposed to increase your value in the society and allow you to have a higher salary wage, you should be making more, or at least the amount that college cost you when you went. Like college costs more than that. You should either be matching what I had to spend when I was in school or make it higher. Like there's no reason why you have people like me in my position, like, you know, people I graduated with struggling to like, or has to have two jobs. Like I know some people who have two jobs, like you have a whole job and you have a college degree, all these different. So it's like I be calling BS on some of this stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I think after bills and, you know, unless they got car payment, your mortgage payment, this payment, that payment, your food, it's no way that you can live off of $725 to, let's just say, $12-something. Like if
you cannot,
you can't. It's impossible. And you can't live comfortably with that.
You can. And Brandon said, well, first of all, he said Tostito chips are $6 minimum. It's like, and Brandon says, but then people wonder why people resort to selling drugs, stripping, OnlyFans. But a lot of people that do that stuff are making a lot of money. You can't have it both ways. That's true. Like
that's also true.
People are finding, like, people are in. I was watching something. Some people say, like, you can't judge somebody who's in survival mode, and it's like fair. Like a lot of these jobs that he mentioned, you get paid so much more money than, like, you know, and. Yeah, and then they said that anywhere you live right now in America, any city, like rent is super expensive. Like there's nowhere to live no more where it's like you can live off that wage. You know what I'm trying to say? Like even if you in Alabama, North Carolina, New York, like it's expensive everywhere.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is people get upset with the market they can't control. So let's say the OnlyFans thing, or you know, people get upset with saying they don't got to do their taxes, all this, like they get to keep all the money they get, things like that. People get upset with that because it's not something that you can have control over.
Right. That's the same thing that they did with, like, the, you know, with weed is the country was super against it, but then once they found a way to monetize, like, even with betting, like, you know, betting was illegal and I guess still illegal in certain states. Can't remember.
Especially age, right? Like your age.
And
you're not supposed to bet.
Right. And now you have the government in on it, sports in on it, because they found a way. Okay, now we can
maximize our profits.
Yeah, but everything is so criminal when they can't figure out a way to, like, take advantage of it. Like how Brandon was mentioning those couple of things. But that kind of makes me think of, unless you had something else to say about minimum wage.
No. I was just gonna say, like, minimum wage creates, you know, generations of poor communities, and especially people who work in those forces are usually minorities. It then builds like generational poverty. People that are less fortunate for years because everyone's getting paid the same amount for their cost of living for every generation. So as cost of living goes up, the minimum wage goes up, but it's really the same. Like, you gotta think. You have to.
Yeah, you're not really
making more money just because the times are different. Like,
because expenses have gone up.
Exactly. So it just creates a slippery slope of bad living for your entire family for years and years and years. And I always feel that something always connects back to that every time we talk about something. Like everything always.
Everything's connected.
Some type of oppression.
For sure. Even, I mean, another oppressive thing is the drug crisis. Do you think, who do you think is the most responsible for, like, the drug crisis we're facing in America?
Yeah, honestly, the drug crisis, especially now with the pill epidemic, you know, Oxycontin, the fentanyl, that's not a pill, but
it's opioid.
Opioids. Xanax. It's a lot of children.
Which opioid was prescribed by doctors too, so it's weird how, like, some medicines
it used to be street drugs that were affecting the neighborhoods and community, but now it's these prescribed prescription drugs that are coming in from overseas, you know, by these big pharmaceutical companies that are supplying these drugs to the U.S. and them being prescribed to people, sometimes wrongfully, sometimes rightfully, but then they become addicted.
Yeah.
And now because like you say, the market is so big now for those drugs. Now there's fakes coming in, that are even worse.
Like with the fentanyl, they were like,
Yeah, and again, back to the making money standpoint, you did each year.
Bring us facts.
Just in 2022, the big pharmaceutical companies made $1.42 trillion on
off selling
pills and pharmaceutical drugs, and that type of thing. And during COVID, that was a big thing. The same companies that make these pills were creating the vaccines, right? So it's some speculation, and I'm not that guy, but it's some speculation that the vaccine, people and companies put their money into, the vaccine being produced, which is fine. But then now those same companies are still getting pushed money to produce these pharmaceuticals. And they're saying that there is a, what's the word for like too much of something? There's a huge influx, like a surplus of these drugs being produced without a need and be. And they're getting on the streets somehow.
So these people should technically be criminals, like Mike said. How come they aren't in jail? Right.
Yeah, you would think.
I know
because they're backed by these companies. So
yeah, because I was about to say, I know somebody told me, which I guess in my mind makes sense, but wasn't something I thought about, where it's like certain doctors or offices make deals with certain pharmaceutical companies to prescribe you their drugs. So like say you like sick or something's wrong with you or whatever, and they like, I think this is the best thing for you, this will help you, blah blah blah, but not even knowing that they have that company or doctors have a deal with that pharmaceutical company to sell you their stuff. And like, you hope that it's genuine, like they genuinely found a pharmaceutical company that like cares about the patients, but you just never know. Like you don't, because things is all money driven. That's even with in one of our episodes we talked about maternal like health and stuff, and just how it costs a mother more to get a C-section than it does to have a natural birth. So it's like you can see how they want people, and it's quicker. So you see how they want more people to have a C-section because it'll cost that patient more and it's quicker. So they're getting more money for spending less time doing it, Exactly. So it's like,
it's always some like undermining idea behind
capitalism.
It's always a smaller picture in the bigger picture for some reason. And even in 2021, I think 2021, 106,000 people died from overdoses, and it's been going up every year, which I thought was crazy. 100,000 people.
Yeah, even that. Remember that local overdoses. What happened at was that Wakefield or another school? When that kid had it was recently. He a kid overdosed on something.
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, was it Wakefield or another Virginia school? If anybody else knows, I know it's somewhere.
Yeah,
they were saying that the person overdosed on maybe fentanyl, maybe, I don't know, but it's happening younger and younger, and it's a problem.
Even the problem with the problems with insulin prices, people that need it, the prices going up for the drugs. And the problem is with these companies that are producing the pharmaceutical drugs, like they control the market because they can create, and there's always loopholes in everything to create more money. It's odd, but they can put, let's say the pill is blue, right, with a middle line in the middle, a slash in the middle. But I think it says 6 years, they have to what's the thing that we have for the LLC? What's it called?
Oh, like a
trademark. Yeah. You got to trademark basically a new pill every 6 years. So they just put 2 slashes instead of 1 on, but it's the same pill, not the same company, but it just looks new, or just for the trademark. So these people are controlling their own markets to push out the same pills every, let's just say 6 years, and just increasing the prices and making more revenue.
Yeah.
And especially with the backing of governments and people that especially if it's overseas and people that are sending to the US who know will pay these prices, it'll never stop. The influx of these drugs will never stop.
Yeah. Do you think what do you think will happen? Have you seen that certain countries are gonna? Oh yeah, thank you, Dan. It was Wakefield.
The currency thing.
Yeah, so do you know a little bit about that? I don't know much, but I'm curious to know if you know.
I heard a little bit about it on actually I don't know, this is not good sources, but on Twitter I heard a little bit about it. They basically cut in the U.S. currency of being like the median of currencies between different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard it was China and Brazil. No, was it China and
It's like
Brazil?
4 places or 5, I think.
Yeah, I only heard 2 so far.
Oh.
I know it's Brazil and one other. That's the only 2 I heard. But basically, cutting that as a median, people were saying that they should stop getting their imports from China and cut their market off so that they're forced to use us as a median. Which I don't know if it's right or wrong. You know, I'm not a politician, but I mean that's all I know about it. Because if you cut you get so many imports and exports from China to the U.S. Like that's normal. Everything's made by China. You know, U.S. gives them the money to make it. You know, so if that were to be cut off, what would happen? Would that be like a global stop on just production and because people already had problems with the supply chain during COVID. You know, things were getting produced because COVID put a stop on a lot of things. So think if there was a stop, because of that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so interested to see like what will happen with that, because our US dollar is usually good most places you go. And so with that happening, it will decrease the value in our currency. And I'm just curious to know like what's that going to do for like the future? That's going to be definitely so weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you don't, but you know how I feel about America. I don't like, they have been bullying people for years. So it's kind of like, what did they expect? Like you strip all these other countries of their independence, meaning like either through slavery or through like them not being able to fend for themselves, so that they need your resources or they need your money, or like how you just go into Puerto Rico and make it a state. You know what I mean? Like just taking people's independence and like using them because you like cut their resources from under them so that they are vulnerable for you. Then you have other countries who now have enough guts or like treating you the way you treated people for years. Is like, what do you want? What do you like? People aren't going to come through for you when you don't come through for nobody. It's just like, I don't know. They want sympathy about everything. It's like, that's just not going to happen. That's why I'm always so scared for our future. Cause it's like, they are evil. US is evil.
Like, that's true. It's actually a dollar is worth more than someone's life. Like no matter what, in their eyes. So I wouldn't be surprised if, they were to put the money first over, all that nuclear war stuff is going on too right now. It's just a lot of destruction going on. I think at the end of the day, I think after we're talking about all of these struggles, you really, and I was watching the movie and she said, you just have to make worth of what you have. And she said something like, you have to make worth of what you have and not what you can't see. Basically saying like, people have aspirations for bigger things and all this, but first you have to make worth of what you have now, because you just never know. I honestly believe in my heart, and I don't like to live by this. Obviously we don't, but you are set up to fail because there are so many obstacles in your way. Just block. Like I just read a few articles this weekend, and it was just like, I need to read more. It made me feel like I want to read more. It's just so much you can know that you don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of those life struggles, Brandon wanted to mention, circling back to the insulin thing real quick, you can get short acting or long acting insulin from Walmart for a little over $20 in an emergency. That can be life-saving information, because we know how you were saying that was a very expensive thing, and we know a few people who have like diabetes and stuff. And so thank you, Brandon, for sharing that information. That could definitely help somebody out, or if you want to pass that along to other people, even if you don't have it yourself, but you can let other people know that Walmart can come through for you in the time of emergency.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's tough. I'd like you, but you were right though. Sometimes to just be happy in life, you try to like live in the moment or ignore the things that are going on. But a lot of this stuff affects people on a daily basis, and that's the hard part. Like, definitely you can't just ignore it.
Yeah, make do with what you have.
Yeah, it's. So if anybody wants to take a one-way ticket to another country and never come back, let me know.
Lord,
I'm always down.
Might be worse over there.
Not true. You mentioned the other day. What was it? The Netherlands or somewhere? You said it's the happiest country in the world.
Nah, what place was that? Finland.
Finland. Okay, well, I'm going to Finland. Like what?
Well, I mean, you're black, so might not be too happy for you.
I ain't gonna be able to get no job out there.
No cap. Cost of living is probably so low, wages so low. That's why they're so happy.
Nah, I'm too weak. And what language is that? Is that English? I don't even know.
Definitely not English. It's probably a neighboring country language. I don't even know what's near Finland.
I don't either. So either way, I guess. But yeah, no, I appreciate everybody for tapping into this conversation. I mean,
It's next to Russia, so they probably speak Russian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brendan said they speak Finnish. Is that a real thing?
Oh,
Finnish?
that is a real thing. That is a real thing.
I was gonna say, this man playing with me.
That's a real thing.
Finnish. Oh, I'm not living near no Russia. Okay, well, forget it.
Who says not near Russia? I'm looking at the map.
No, I said I'm not living near Russia.
Oh.
Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, they speak Finnic.
Finnic?
Yes, that's true. Finnic.
Okay, well, thanks to DeAndre and Brandon for supplying me with that much needed knowledge.
Definitely.
Yeah, but no, thank y'all for. Oh, and if you real quick, no, I have two things to plug actually, so I'll let you go first if you wanna.
Oh, we on to the plugs?
Well, no, we don't have to. I was just something sparked in my brain, but I'm like I can leave it for that. But any closing
thoughts?
Thoughts you wanted to mention?
Do I have any closing thoughts?
Do you?
You might find out.
You might.
Oh, I don't think I have any closing thoughts. I just have one closing thought that I thought was pretty important.
Yeah, let us know.
Just in general, when I was, reading, like I said prior, I started realizing that, like I said, everything's a cycle. It's like a spiral, which basically means everything without doubt will stay the same, no matter what, because everything is already set up to move. Like everything's a reaction to another reaction. So once, like we said, once the wages go up, inflation goes up, the market will become more competitive as things go up. You can't have one thing do something, one thing do the other, because then it will just mess everything up. And I promise you, they're not going to fix it for you, Deja. So
yeah,
that's a bad mindset to live by. But yes, you want to make more money, but I guess just try to do more things in your life to produce more wealth. That's my closing thought.
Thanks, DeAndre. You sound
I think if you're working a minimum wage job, you're stuck. That's how I see
it. I mean, it's, but that's the like that's a sad reality though. Like that's just not fair.
It's not fair.
But I guess life's not fair. I don't know. But
yeah. Okay, that was my closing thought.
Anything to plug, my good sir?
Yeah, maybe I could throw a plug out there. Cultivate everyone on YouTube. Dropped the 10 Essentials video on there.
Yep. It's Reach Inside Cultivate Everyone on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, you can search either one though.
Okay, got it.
Either one comes up, but yes, that's the full tag. But
it was a cool video on there last time. So
cool video. So I think it came out like 5 days ago. Go check that out if you haven't seen it, please. Give some feedback in the comments. Drop a like. Drop a sub. I sound like a real YouTuber. Drop a sub. But that's all I have to plug.
That's what you sound like.
You have anything to say before it's time to go?
I do. You took my other plug, so that's good. I do have one plug. So our good sirs over at the 30-minute hour podcast, specifically, Eric wanted me to mention that they have an awesome opportunity coming up for anybody who's interested. They are having a free masterclass on how to monetize your podcast and explode your downloads. I mean, honestly, it might be cool to just learn something anyway, because even if it's not applied to like podcasts, it probably could be applied to just business or you can learn something. We're gonna be there. So it's free. So let me just say the little thing real quick. Are you looking to monetize your podcast with any size following, attract paid sponsors, promote your podcast to get more downloads?
I am.
Convert your social media followers into fans, find the right guests who will grow your show or your business, just business in general.
Right.
Then join them on Saturday, April 15th for a free masterclass. Anyone who goes to the class they'll send you a recording afterwards, so you can always just remember like the content if you want. But that'll be April 15th, which is a Saturday, and we will post the link on our Instagram and I can post it on Facebook. But if anybody wants to join, definitely I think it'll be a good opportunity. I mean, it's free, so it's like, why not get the free knowledge?
Why not? Right, exactly.
It's really like a no-brainer. But so yeah, hopefully we can see y'all there. It shouldn't last too long. It's at 10 a.m. And yes, you can
10 a.m.
You can join from your couch, from your bed, or from a girl's room like DeAndre. So
anywhere, I'm a bit there.
Either way, we love y'all. We hope that we see y'all next week. And because we
hope y'all enjoyed the podcast today. That was a good one for me.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Just don't work a minimum wage job. There you go.
Who are like whatever, DeAndre. That's not easy, but okay.
I have the conclusion of this episode.
Oh my gosh. My drink timed out anyway. But go ahead. What's the conclusion?
I can't hear you.
What's the conclusion?
Oh, somebody calling you? Somebody always calling her.
My time limit went out.
Yo, hello?
Yeah, what's up?
My conclusion, can I finish off without you interrupting me?
Go ahead.
Turn me down on the phone, bro, while I say this.
Oh, Lord. Listening.
Do OnlyFans, don't work your minimum wage job. That's all I got to say. We out. That's all.
Become a stripper. All right, we get it.
That's all I got to say. Shout out Brandon.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Bye, y'all.
See y'all next time.